We hope you had a great time this weekend. We enjoyed having you here. I am John Davis, co-manager of the tournament, along with my wonderful wife, Dr. Deb Woodard, who is seated right over there. And I would like at this time to introduce the assistant to the director of the Illinois High School Association, Mr. Fred Vogt.
Thank you. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate each and every one of you that qualified for the state tournament. But I think even more importantly, I'd like to congratulate all of the students who made the decision to participate in speech individual events, one of the most satisfying, most rewarding, most worthwhile activities that you can possibly get involved in. Congratulations to all of you. I would like to thank the State Tournament Committee, who spent many hours preparing for the management of this tournament and for the running of it today. I would like to thank Dr. Calvin Leader, the superintendent of Warren Township High School. Dr. Philip Rothman, the principal of Warren Township. And Ron Shelton, the associate principal. I would like to thank them for opening their school to us and extending to us the hospitality that they have these past 2 days. I would especially like to thank Dr. Deb Woodard and John Davis and all of the members of the faculty and students who worked so very hard in preparing, in organizing to make this tournament the best we've ever had. Thank you again, Warren Township. Congratulations again to all of you, and on with the show.
As Mr. Vogt said, we have had tremendous support from our administration, so we have a couple of people here who would like to welcome you to Warren, and I'd like to bring up Dr. Philip Rothman, our principal.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. And on behalf of the students of Warren Township High School, and especially our speech team students and the principals of the Illinois High School Association, we hope you've enjoyed yourself in beautiful Gurnee, and we hope you do come back, not just to see Great America, but also to see us in the future. It's been our pleasure. You've been great guests, and please come again. Thank you.
I'd like you also to meet a very special person to all the members of the Warren speech team. He's our superintendent, and he's our #1 fan as well. Last year at Rend Lake, when Dave Fry asked if we would host the state tournament this year, I didn't have to come home and see if it was okay with the administration, because Dr. Leader was standing right there with me, and he said, yeah, let's go. So Dr. Leader, would you come up?
Thank you very much, Mr. Davis. It certainly is my pleasure to be here. It's been my pleasure with my wife to enjoy many Saturdays and many other times in hearing presentations from people from speech teams and speech departments. So I congratulate everyone here because you're all winners, and I'm a special winner because I have the opportunity to hear and see you. I hope that everyone found everything that they wanted here. I want you to keep the dream alive that each of you have. The little short poem that I'll recite by Markham, he wrote, great it is to believe the dream as we stand in youth by the starry stream. But a greater thing still is to fight life through and say at the end, the dream is true. Keep that dream alive.
Okay, a couple quick thank yous and then we're ready to roll. Thank you to Assistant Coach John Carlin for all his work this weekend. To the parents who have worked in the concession stand selling things all weekend, and more importantly to me, who have gone to many rounds and watched you as well as our Warren people perform. Thank you to the Warren speech team. And to me, most especially, I want to thank all the alumni who came back to help as room chairmen and to check in people, etc., etc. John Hanson came all the way from Massachusetts to run Extemp Draw, and Amy Chapin came even further from 1977 to be the oratory chairman, and it makes me very proud to have those people around. Just one thing I'd like to ask you. We think we have a good facility here, but obviously having the awards in a gym is not the ideal situation. So we need everybody's cooperation. We want to hear every word of all these performances. So please, don't walk around, don't rock in your seat. We need to keep it quiet so we can hear as well as possible. We're going to start with Dr. Woodard introducing the winners of Performance in the Round.
We'd like to ask the timers and the room chairs of each of the events to come up and help us give awards. And we're going to start by having the timers and room chairs for Performance in the Round come up on the stage. There are 3 trophies for Performance in the Round, but we want to recognize all 6 schools that were in the final round. In 6th place, Elk Grove's production of Variations on the Theme of Love. Finishing in 5th place, the Warren Township production of Upon the Waters. In 4th place, the Charleston production of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And we'd like to ask the cast of our 3rd place production from Oak Lawn, The Complete History of America, to come up to the stage and receive your trophy.
For the winners, the champions. It's for the
Okay, Okay, we'd like to recognize these cast members. Their names are Mark Leashy, Ray Metzger, Brian Grant, Nick Blazina, Sam Echevarria, Sophia Farial, Amy Zero, Val Olson, Kevin West, Adam Zwikowski, Samantha Standazuski, Jennifer Rolniak, Caleb Kosek, Dan Echevarria, Veronica Espinoza, Katie Wenzel, Carmel Damazo, and the coaches Merle Marine and Tom Jurison. Our second place finishers in performance in the round, the Wheaton Warrenville South production of The Body Silent. The cast members are Garrett Ard, Ellen Lee, Stephanie Sinnott, Mike Sleffinger, Jeanette Skews, and their coaches Marco Benassi, Rene Rulis, and Joe Gerace. And our state champions in performance in the round, the Homewood Flossmoor production of Pullman Car Hiawatha. The state champion performers are Madeline Beck, Stephanie Blees, Matt Sharilla, Jeff Erickson, Amber Friendly, Josh Green, Ralph Hardesty, Mario Joby, Hillary Jones, Brian Levin, David Lipschutz, Megan Weiss, and Sadie Word, coached by Tom Sweeney and Greg Weiss. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see this production in the round the way it was intended, but they have done some restaging this afternoon and will now perform for us.
In 1998, the Pullman District of Chicago burned to the ground. The following play is dedicated to the great era of train travel. Pullman Car Hiawatha by Thornton Wilder. This is the plan of a Pullman car. Its name is Hiawatha, and on December 21st, it is on its way from New York to Chicago. Here are the passenger seats. This is the aisle, and in the front seat sits a spinster. Next to her is an amiable lady. In the back is an engineer. And in the middle of the car lies a compartment containing Philip and his wife Harriet. In the back compartment, there is an insane woman accompanied by her medical attendant. All right. Come on, everybody.
Pullman car Hiawatha, leaving Union Station, New York to Englewood Station, Chicago.
Porter!
Yes, ma'am.
Be sure to wake me up at 6:15.
Yes, ma'am.
I know I stand sleep a wink, but I'd like to know when it's 6:15.
Yes, ma'am.
Porter!
Yes, sir.
Would you tell me how the hell to turn on this damn light here?
Certainly, sir. I'm sorry, sir. It's broken. You're gonna have to use the other hand.
I never in all my
I'm
days.
sorry.
Porter!
Yes, ma'am.
My hot water bag's leaking. You'll have to take it away. I'll have to do without it tonight. How awful.
Porter, can I get a glass of water, dear? I'm parched.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, what do you want?
Hey, why don't you slip me one of those magazines you got there?
All right, which one do you want?
Detective stories.
Fred, I just finished reading one of those detective stories. I'm gonna read the next one.
All right, then give me a Western.
The Pullman car Hiawatha heads west, leaving behind New York and curving through Pennsylvania's rolling hills. Passengers have settled in for the night.
Are you all right, Angel?
Yes, I don't know what was the matter with me during dinner.
Shall I close the curtains?
Yes. Oh, Philip, I can't wait to get back home to Illinois.
Good night, dear. I'll be in the dining car if you need me. Sleep tight.
Good night, dear.
Don't take me there. I don't want to go there.
Wouldn't you like to lie down, dearie?
No, I want to get off the train and go back to New York.
Wouldn't you like me to brush your hair? It's such a nice feeling.
No, I want to open the door.
Such a noise will wake all the nice people. Come, let me tell you a story about the place we're going to.
Are there roses?
Roses. Red, yellow, white. Just everywhere. Listen, I want you to hear them thinking.
The baby is gonna love that doll for Christmas.
Have I ever been this hot and bothered about a woman before?
These sleeping pills are never gonna work.
God, I don't even know if the company will take me back.
I'm not as beautiful as she was.
My heart hurts. Philip? Oh. Philip!
What's the matter, ma'am?
I'm sick. I must see a doctor. I saw a man in the back reading medical papers. Please go get the porter.
Porter. Yes, sir. There's a woman in the center berth. She needs a doctor.
Why, sir, I can't wake nobody up.
She's awful sick, Porter.
Ma'am, I'm gonna try and find you a doctor.
What is it?
Doctor, there's a woman on the train that needs your help.
I'll be right there.
Right in there, sir.
She's dead, Porter. Was there anyone else on the train traveling with her?
Yes, sir. Her husband's in the dining car.
Idiot! Go get him!
I'm terribly sorry, sir.
So much for the inside of the car. Now for its position meteorologically, geographically, and theologically considered. The Pullman car Hiawatha, December 21st, 1930, 10 minutes to 11, already.
I represent Grover's Corners, Ohio, 821 souls. I have seen all the dreadful havoc that alcohol has done, and I hope that no one will ever touch a drop of the curse of this beautiful country. There is so much good in the worst of us, and so much bad in the best of us, that it ill behooves any of us to criticize the rest of us. Robert Louis Stevenson. Thank ya.
I represent the fee you are passing between Grover's Corners, Ohio and Parkersburg, Ohio. In this field, there are 51 gophers, 206 field mice, 6 snakes, and thousands upon billions of bugs, insects, and spiders, all in their winter sleep. It takes a heap of living to make a house a home, a lot of sun and shade. Sometimes you gotta run before you realize what you really left behind. Keep it living. Eddie Guest. Thank you.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm a tramp that's been traveling under this car, Hiawatha. So I have a right to be in this play. I'm going from Rochester, New York to Joliet, Illinois. It takes a lot of people to make a world. On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play, and the sun comes up like thunder over China, across the bay. Frank W. Service. It's bitter cold, 11 degrees above zero. Thank you.
Ich bin der Arbeiter, der sein. Ich bin verloren. I'm sorry. That's in German. He says that he's the ghost of a workman who was killed while they were building the trestle over which the car Hiawatha is now passing. And he wants to appear in this play. His motto? You know. 77 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation dedicated, and so on. Thank you, Mr. Kruger. All right, now it's time for the hours. The hours are poets and philosophers with the exception of 12 o'clock, who is also a theologian. Enter 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, how are you? 11 o'clock, what are you doing? Aristotle?
No. Plato, Mr. Washington.
Ah, good. Are you not rather convinced?
Are you not rather convinced that he who sees beauty, as only it can be seen, will be specially favored? And since he is not in contact with images, but with reality.
All right, now, shh. I want you to hear them dream.
Now I got the doll for the baby, and I got Marietta that slip for Christmas. I also got George the Time magazine subscription.
Oh, God. Lillian, if you don't turn out to be what I think you are, I think I'll go crazy. I guess it's bad politics to let a woman know that you're going all the way to California to see her. I'll think up a song and dance about a business trip or something. I've never been this hot and bothered about a woman before. I better try and read or I'll go cuckoo.
I'm not gonna sleep a wink. I might as well make up my mind about that now. I can't imagine what could have gotten a hold of that hot water bag. To leak on a train, of all places. Well, I might as well just lean on my right side and breathe deeply, and maybe I could just doze off a bit.
Oh, God. That was the craziest thing I've ever done. I mean, it set me back 3 whole years. You know, I could have saved up $30,000 by now if I'd only stayed here. I mean, what the hell business have I got to fool with contracts with the damn Soviets anyway? You know, I thought it would be interesting. Interesting? What the hell? It set me back 3 whole years, and now I don't even know if the company will take me back. God, I wish I would just grow up sometime.
That'll do. Just one moment. Porter, why aren't you dreaming?
How can I sleep a wink when it's my fault that woman died? I wish I could have done something for her.
He's a good man. Harrison is.
These people, they're all so absurd. They're like children. They've never suffered.
Good. We have now reached the theological position of the Pullman car Hiawatha. It's 12 o'clock. Now enter the Archangel.
Something has come to me in the night and told me I shall die. I know not where. To lose the earth you know for greater knowing. And to lose the life you love for greater life.
Now, come. This is the earth's sound. Come, Grover's Corners. Come, tramp. Come, field. Come, workman. You're all in this. This is the earth's sound.
Use me, please. Give me something to do. Well, do you want to take me? But what can there be in me simply waiting? Well, I'm grateful for anything. I'm grateful for being so much better than I used to be. I understand myself perfectly now, but no one else understands a thing that I say. So I must wait.
I wouldn't be happy there. Let me stay dead down here. I belong here. I shall be perfectly happy to roam about my house and be near Philip. You know I wouldn't be happy there. I'm ashamed to come with you. I haven't done anything with my life. Worse than that, I was angry and sullen. It is not possible to forgive such things. I'm willing to face it all myself. I want to be all new. Will you really want me? Let's take the whole train. Can't we all come? Please. Please, let's all go. Well, do let me stop a minute. I want to say goodbye. Goodbye, Philip. I begged him not to marry me, but he believed in me, just as you do. Goodbye, 1312 Ridgewood Avenue, Oaksbury, Illinois. Goodbye, Emerson Grammar School. First Congregational Church. Goodbye, Papa and Mama. Well, now I'm tired of saying goodbye. I never used to talk like this. I never used to have the courage. Until Philip came. I see now. I understand everything.
All right, we've reached Englewood Station, South Chicago. See the university's towers over there? The best of them all.
Porter!
Yes, ma'am.
You promised to wake me up at 5:45.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but there's been an awful night on the train. The woman's been terrible sick.
Oh, is she better?
No, ma'am. She ain't one jot better.
Hey, Bill. You know, I've been out the country so long. How much do you pay a porter on a train like this?
Hell, Fred. I don't know myself.
Chicago, Chicago, all out, this train don't go no further.
Well, that's the end of the line. The final stop. That's all for us. This train don't go no further.
May we have the finalists for radio speaking, please? We'd also like to have the room chairs and timers for radio come up to help with the awards. Helping with the awards is Scott Kurth, and I don't see anybody else. So let's go. In 6th place, sorry, I forgot how big this gym is. In 6th place, from Fremd, Brian Fimhoff. In 5th place, from Wheaton North, Shannon Wood. In 4th place, from Andrew of Tinley Park, Michelle Krishbaum. In 3rd place, from Downers Grove South, Leah Blumenthal. In 2nd place, from Canton, Tom Prescher. And our state champion this year is Leslie Chu from Peoria Richwoods.
Peace talks continue in Kosovo. Vice President Gore meets with labor leaders, and a Chicago man is charged with murder. Good evening, this is Leslie Chu for WKIA News, the station that gives you constant updates all day long. The news is sponsored by Advanced Video Services, giving you the quality you deserve. Around the world, Yugoslav President Milosevic snubbed the U.S. mediator at Kosovo peace talks Friday, casting gloom over prospects for an agreement by a looming Saturday deadline. The United States, France, and Britain piled more pressure on Milosevic, warning that the West stood ready to bomb Serbia if he did not accept a deal giving Kosovo sweeping autonomy, policed by a NATO-led implementation force. Western diplomats and aid workers started evacuating Kosovo as NATO geared up for possible airstrikes if peace talks on the province failed to pin down an argument by midday. On the other side of the globe, Olympic leaders are expected to discuss fresh allegations of corruption against IOC members implicated in the Salt Lake City bribery scandal this weekend. An International Olympic Ad Hoc Committee investigating members accused of breaking rules on taking gifts from Salt Lake City in 1995 before it won a vote to host the 2002 Winter Games will hold a global conference call. In national news, Vice President Al Gore traded praise with labor leaders Friday and pledged to help safeguard the right of workers to organize unions. Gore, who is seeking labor backing for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2000, met privately in Miami Beach with executive council members of the AFL-CIO, the nation's largest labor federation. Meanwhile, 5 U.S. Marine aviators defended a squadron pilot charged in last year's Italian fatal cable car accident Friday before leaving for Europe. The aviators, who had been expected to testify next week, said that Captain Richard Ashby was a skilled pilot following routine procedures for low-altitude training missions when his EA-6B Prowler sheared through ski lift cables, killing 20 people. Outside Washington, Ohio prepared to carry out its first execution in 36 years Friday as protesters made final pleas for clemency, even though Governor Robert Taft has already decided against commuting the sentence. Wilford Berry, a 36-year-old convicted murderer, has been sentenced to die by lethal injection at 9 p.m. Friday, a sentence he has campaigned for and which earned him the nickname of the Volunteer because he insisted the sentence not be appealed. On the local level, Illinois Republican Congressman Jerry Weller is proposing a federal law preventing hospitals and nursing homes from hiring people convicted of violent crimes. Weller says that Illinois is one of 33 states that currently require criminal background checks for social service and healthcare workers, and adds that he would like the same standard to apply to the entire country. He says a federal law is needed because people in other states with criminal records can cross state borders to work in hospitals or nursing homes that have no access to their criminal records. In Chicago, a federal investigation may soon be underway to find whether a cancer cluster has caused at least 3 Chicago Housing Authority iron workers to get a rare form of bone cancer. Multiple myeloma is a rare form of bone cancer for which there is no known cure, and it affects just 3 to 4 Americans out of every 100,000 each year. And finally, a Chicago man is being held on $200,000 bond, accused of killing his wife with a skillet last week. Prosecutors say Leotis and Etta Dorch began a quarrel at the Chicago Auto Show, which ended when he pulled into his home garage. Dorch allegedly got a skillet from the trunk and struck his wife on the head with it, killing her. Stay tuned for sports and weather after a word from our sponsor. Think of all your memories. And now think of watching all those memories on your own TV. It's possible with video transferring by advanced video services. Transfer photos and home movies to video and preserve the memories forever in your own video photo album to enjoy anytime. Just pop the tape in the VCR for a great wedding or anniversary gift. Call today and ask about video transferring. Advanced video services, giving you the quality you deserve. From the WKIA scoreboard, the Southeastern Conference Friday suspended Louisiana State Senator Jabari Smith after he committed an unsportsmanlike act in Wednesday's win over South Carolina. Smith, the SEC's leading rebounder and LSU's second leading scorer, will sit out the first half against Georgia tonight. Also from half court, Indiana defeated Philadelphia 99-95, while Houston dribbled past New Jersey 93-92, and Utah topped Denver 97-86. Get those gloves on because today's weather will be mostly cloudy with lows around 15. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy with a chance of snow flurries and highs in the upper 20s. Monday will be partly sunny with highs near 30, while Tuesday will be dry with lows around 15 and highs near 30. This concludes your hourly news, sports, and weather on the station that gives you constant updates all day long. Tune in at 7 o'clock for our next hourly update. This has been Leslie Chu for WKIA. Stay tuned and have a great evening.
To help us present the awards in impromptu speaking, Room Chair Julia Azari, and the timers Amy Handyside and Laura Marock. Would the finalists in impromptu speaking please come to the stage? Finishing in 6th place in impromptu speaking, from Sandburg, Kate Rockwood. In 5th place, from Wheaton North, Brad Schneider. In 4th place, from Glenbard West, Nikki Gillespie. Finishing 3rd, from Marist, Chuck Lamphere. In 2nd place, from Glenbrook North, Brian Netter. And our state champion in impromptu speaking from Wheaton Warrenville South, Chris Winiger.
Hello? Is it on? I'd like to thank the Academy. No, I'm joking. My father is an incredible man. I've spent most of my life admiring him and the incredible things that he's done with his life. You see, my father has achieved things in his lifetime that I know that I could only pray to achieve. And while I understand that a lot of this has to do with his circumstance, I also understand that it has more to do with his effort and the incredible human being that he is. All this aside, I look up to my father most for one simple reason: because he loves me. My dad is a great man, and ever since the time I was a little boy, he's treated me with more respect than I could possibly hope for. He's a great individual, and despite all of the incredible things that he's achieved, it's his love for me and my family that makes me respect him more than anyone else in the entire world. I am, so to speak, the apple of his eye. I'll never forget the first time that my dad told me that he couldn't mess up with me, no matter what. You see, my dad was one of 5 boys in an immigrant family in the early 50s, and that means a lot. Now the fact that I'm an only son, I get the feeling that how I do in my life means more to him than, well, just about anything else. You see, there are 2 kinds of people in this world. There are those who are able to love one another, and there are those who aren't. For me, it boils down to a very simple fact of if you're able to give your love to someone else, if you're able to give up that emotion that you hold so incredibly close to your heart to the people around you, well, then you'll be that much happier. If we can look at a few examples of both, people that are able to give their love to one another and those who aren't, we can ultimately understand why and how it either helps or hurts them. And most importantly, we can come up with a few applications that we can in our everyday lives. Not only know that we do, but show the people around us how much we care. First, a few examples of people who are able to give their love to one another. Now, to be perfectly honest, my favorite movie of all time is looked at as somewhat of a chick flick. Nothing I can do about it. The fact of the matter is, I really believe that The Princess Bride is one of the greatest movies ever made. Notice that is mostly women that was applauding just now. But the fact of the matter is, The Princess Bride does have something for everyone. It's funny, it's exciting, it's romantic, it's adventurous. And the main character in The Princess Bride, Wesley, spends the entire movie attempting to get with the woman that he loves. You see, they had told each other once that they loved each other, but after she thought he was dead, well, she was devastated and had to attempt to move on with the rest of her life. I'll never forget the opening sequence of the movie The Princess Bride, in which the man Wesley starts working for Buttercup's father, and the moment he sees her, instantaneously he knows that he's in love. For the next 4 years of his life, he says nothing to her except the 3 words, "as you wish." The most incredible part is when she finally realizes that when he's saying "as you wish," what he really means is, "I love you." Even more incredible than that is the fact that she truly loves him back. It's that love that drives Wesley through the rest of the movie. It's because he is able to love someone that deeply, that emotionally, that he basically comes back from the dead to save the woman that means more to him than anything else in the world. Not just in cinema, but in literature as well. One of my favorite books is a book called Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom. It's a true story about a college professor named Morrie who dedicates his entire life to teaching people about the amazing things that he's learned. Even when he is diagnosed with a terminal disease and he knows that he's going to die within the next 5 years, that only fuels him even more. He decides at that point that it's time for him to go out and impart all of the knowledge that he has gained on the people around him. And that's why he's such an incredible individual. It's not because he's witty or funny or attractive, because he's not attractive. He's a 4-foot-tall Jewish man from New York. But people respect him because he's able to love everyone, no matter what. And it's because of that love that he ends up dying happy at the end. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't live, but he dies happy. And I think that should be all of our goal. And while it may be easy to look at people that have gotten it right, I tend to think we can learn just a little bit more from people who have gotten it wrong. I'd be willing to bet that there's not a single person in here that hasn't seen at least one of the Star Wars movies. And the arch-villain in the Star Wars movies isn't what many people believe it to be. It's not Darth Vader. No. The villain is the Emperor, Emperor Tarkin. Tarkin dies at the end because he sees the man that was basically the apple of his eye, Darth Vader, finally finds a place in his heart to love his son. His only son of all time. He finds at the end of the 3rd movie that no matter what happens, he still has to dedicate his life, his love to him. He ends up dying, and he knows that the moment that he decides he's going to take his son's side, that he's going to die. That doesn't matter to him. What matters to him is that he has love in his heart, and he's going to share that love with somebody. And it's that love that kills the Emperor at the end. The entire idea of the dark side of the Force in the Star Wars movie is about being cold and unwilling to share your love with other people. And that's why the Emperor doesn't succeed. Not just in cinema, but in literature as well. One of the most famous books of all time is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. And in Great Expectations, there's a character named Miss Havisham. And Miss Havisham is an interesting character. She's kind of the stereotypical old bag. You see, at one point in her life, her fiancé dies, leaving her at the altar. She decides at this point that she's going to lock herself up in a room and never come out. It's because of this that the rest of her life ends up being miserable. Because she decided at one point that she was not going to share her life with anyone else, no matter what. And that's why she's not happy at the end of the book. She's unable and unwilling to show her love to the people around her. So we can criticize others. But how can we apply this to ourselves? I mean, that's what's really most important. How can we understand day to day to not only love the people close to us, but have a general sort of love for everyone, a sort of respect? Because when you have that respect, people see it. Don't tell me that you haven't been walking down the street or in a store and the clerk looked at you and you understood that you had never met this person in your life before, but they respected you. And how good did that make you feel? Well, the first thing that we have to do is be able to accept everyone right off the bat. Assume good, not bad. That's what's really important. You have to be consistent with the way you treat people. And if you consistently treat people poorly, well then obviously you won't be able to love everyone. You need to keep an open mind when you first meet people. You need to be able to say that someday I may be able to love you. And that's all that matters. Not only consistency, but to me I think one of the most important aspects of love is forgiving. Heck, if my dad had never forgiven me when I was a boy, well, we wouldn't get along now and I wouldn't love him and respect him the way that I do. But the fact of the matter is, after all of the bad things that I've done in my life, and trust me, there are quite a few, my father still forgave me. And that's why he has the love that he has for me. And that's why he respects me the way that he does and why I respect him the way that I do. I am the proverbial apple of his eye. You see, my father has done incredible things in his life. Dad, you've done things that I know I could never achieve. For all of you sitting out there in the audience, I know that you would say the same thing if you were up here. So I'm going to say it for you. To all the parents and family members, we love you. It's not our experiences here or our coachings or the places that we go that molds us to who we are. It's the love that we receive from you. That's what's most important. I can honestly say that I would be nowhere if it wasn't for the love that I've gotten from my two parents. I'm not saying that my relationship with them is perfect, but I'm saying I admire them more than anyone else in the world because they love me. And that's really what's most important. Love the people around you, and believe me, eventually someday, they'll find a way to show you that they love you back.
What a nice speech. May we have the finalists in humorous duet acting, please. And will the timers and chairperson come up to present the awards? Presenting the awards are Marcy Crawford and Diana Scavars, a former state champion in this event. In 7th place, from Oak Lawn, Baez and Martig. In 6th, from Glenbrook South, Klein and Miller. In 5th place, from Glenbard West, Kelly and Hall. In 4th place, from Peoria Woodruff, Pyle and Stoltz. In 3rd, from Downers Grove South, Dalo and Frodema. In 2nd place, from Thornton, Smith and Stevens. And the tournament champions from Wheaton Warrenville South, Judge and May.
adventurer, explorer. I can't get over the fact that 24 hours ago, I didn't know any of you wonderful people. But here I am now on the verge of a madcap Manhattan weekend.
One ticket, please.
Hi,
Thanks.
Tom Baxter,
Popcorn?
poet, adventurer, explorer. I can't get over the fact that 24 hours ago, I didn't know any of you wonderful people. But here I am now on the verge of a madcap Manhattan weekend.
One ticket, please.
Hi,
Thanks.
Tom Baxter, poet, adventurer, explorer. I can't get over the fact that 24 hours ago, I didn't know any of you wonderful people. But here I am now on the verge of... My God! You must really love this movie.
Who, me?
Yes, you. This is the third time you've seen this today.
You mean me?
Yes, you. I have to meet you. I'm sorry, fellas. I have a date. Wow. Hi. What happens when fantasy meets reality and reality meets fantasy? The Purple Rose of Cairo by Woody Allen.
Gosh.
What's your name?
Cecilia.
Well, Cecilia, let's get out of here.
No, you belong in the movie.
Not anymore, I don't. I'm free. After 2,000 performances up here, I'm finally free.
I don't think I understand. Who are you?
Hi, Tom Baxter. Poet, adventurer.
I know. You're Tom Baxter. You end up with Kitty Haynes, the nightclub singer.
Not anymore, I don't.
But what do you mean?
I got out before the wedding scene. I'm free.
But don't you gotta marry her?
Not while I'm down here and she's up there.
But just look at her. She's so beautiful.
Oh, she's not for me. Too bony.
Kitty Haynes, too bony?
Look, I'm never going back.
But you just got her.
I can't go back.
Well, why?
I just met you. I know exactly what this is. It's an amusement park.
Oh, yeah. It's usually pretty dead around here till summer.
I know exactly what an amusement park is for.
You do?
It's written in my character.
I don't think I understand.
I had to meet you. Don't tell me you didn't see me looking at you through the corner of my eye.
Well, I had no idea you was looking at me.
Oh, yes. Do you remember the time I took that trip to the country inn and asked Kitty to marry me?
I remember.
I was really looking at you.
Oh, but Kitty looks so beautiful in that dress.
She's nothing compared to you.
Oh, I'm nothing.
The heck you're not. You're fetching.
Fetching?
Fetching.
Fetching.
Something my dad used to say to my mom. He'd say, Mom, you're fetching. Quite a card, my old man. Unfortunately, I never met him. He died before the movie began.
Oh. Well, I have to admit, my eyes were always drawn to you on the screen.
Really?
Well, even though you weren't the main character, I think that you were very...
What? You don't think I'm the main character?
No. I didn't mean to say it that way. I meant to say I think you're positively essential.
Essential?
Yes.
I've always thought so myself. Essential, huh? I've never said that before. Essential.
But shouldn't you be getting back now?
No. I want to live. I want to be free. I want to make my own choices. You see that? I've never done that before. I like it.
But they need you. I mean, the story just can't go on without you.
Cecilia, I love you.
Oh, but I'm married.
Not happily.
Oh, but I really should be going.
I want to learn more about the real world with you.
Oh, but I can't.
Cecilia, how many times is a man so taken by a girl that he'll actually walk off the screen to get her? This is how they drink champagne in Cairo.
had champagne before. It makes me feel silly.
Waiter, my compliments to the chef. Here's a 20. And take 20% for yourself.
So much.
30%. Have another.
Tom, wait a minute, Tom. That's fake money.
Fake money.
Well, it's not real money.
Not real money.
It's not. No.
Huh. Well, do you have any real money?
Well, no. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Well, think of something.
I can't.
Why not?
It's not my character.
Oh, we're gonna be arrested.
Well then, we better make a run for it. To the car!
Oh, but Tom, this isn't even our car. We came by foot.
It doesn't go.
Well, of course not. You gotta have keys to make it go.
It always goes in the movies.
But in real life, you gotta have keys.
You do?
Yes.
Well then, we better make a run for it. I'm sorry about that whole money thing, Cecilia. I had no idea.
Oh, well, that's okay, but it's not going to be easy to get around in this world without it.
Well, then I'll get a job.
Well, that's not going to be easy either.
Well, then we'll live on love.
Oh, that's movie talk.
Wow! Oh, wow! Oh, wow, you look extraordinary in that light! No, no.
Oh, but you're not real.
Oh? Is this real enough for you? Where's the fade? The fade out! Every time I'm kissing a girl, the lights begin to fade. Fade! I say fade out!
There's no fade out in real life.
No fade out?
No.
Making love without a fade out?
Yes.
Fascinating!
I guess so.
Oh, I've got to see this!
Oh, no. Now you stop it. I'm not that kind of girl and I don't do that type of thing. And besides, I'm married and I really should be going.
But I love you.
I'm so confused. I'm so jumbled.
Cecilia, I know you're married, but I'm better for you and I can take you away from all this.
Where will we go?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm so confused. I mean, I'm married, but I just met the most wonderful new man, and he's fictional, but you can't have everything.
Cecilia, my dreams are your dreams.
Oh, my heart's beating so fast.
Choose.
Tom,
Choose.
I can't.
You must choose.
Tom, I just can't.
You can't?
No.
I'm crushed. Devastated.
Tom, you gotta understand. In your world, things just always seem to have a way of working themselves out. But I'm a real person, and I gotta choose the real world. But I'll never forget the time we spent together, and I'll never forget you.
Hi, Tom Baxter, poet, adventurer, explorer. I can't get over the fact that 24 hours ago, I didn't know any of you wonderful people. But here I am now, on the verge of a madcap Manhattan weekend.
Would the finalists in extemporaneous speaking approach the stage? I agree. What? And to assist us with the award preparation, Jessica Nee, Martha Tion, and John Hanson. sixth place finisher in extemporaneous speaking is from Fenwick High School, Matthew Wurtzebach. In fifth place, from Chicago Marist, Chuck Lanphier. In fourth place, from DeKalb, Stephen Clark. Finishing third, from Glenbrook South, Stephen Abramowitz. In second place, from Conant, Shubham Mukherjee. And our state champion in extemporaneous speaking from Glenbrook North, Brian Netter.
Mao Zedong once said, everything is the same. If you don't hit it, it won't fall. This is like sweeping the floor. If the broom doesn't reach, the dust will not simply vanish of itself. Well, thanks, Mao. That really says a lot. But if you think about what he really means, he's telling us if we have a problem, we have to do something to fix it. If we don't like something, we should change it. If we suddenly decide that Coke won't do it, pick Pepsi. If we don't like Burger King's new fries, try McDonald's. As you might expect, this is not just something that applies to Mao and fast food. It's something that we see all around our world, specifically right now in Israel. The Israeli people don't like what's going on, and it seems that they'll adopt the attitude of Mao and look for a change. So it seems logical that we ask ourselves the question, to what degree can the Israeli Labor Party expect to defeat the party of Benjamin Netanyahu? The answer is to a great extent. Israel is ready for change, and change is what it's going to get. We can see that this is the case if we first examine the problems within Netanyahu's Likud party. Once we've seen these, we can see that also the Israeli people no longer sign with Netanyahu. For these two reasons, his party will simply not be able to succeed in the upcoming elections. Here in the United States, we have a fairly simple electoral system. Two parties, Democrats, Republicans. If one wins, the other loses, and similarly, if the other loses, then one wins. But the situation isn't quite the same in Israel. In Israel, they have tons of different parties, and the key to the government is the coalition. A coalition of different parties is necessary to form a government. So it's necessary for us to consider that Netanyahu's Likud is going to have problems forming a coalition in the next few years. We can see this if we first look at how the other different parties no longer agree with the Likud, and secondly, if we look at variances within the Likud party proper. First, let's see what's happening between the Likud and the Labor. According to the New Republic issue of November 16, 1998, the Likud and Labor right now form a coalition that holds 101 of the Knesset's 200 seats. This is obviously a very fragile coalition. Just losing one seat, they no longer have a government. So it's a very important coalition for Netanyahu's Likud. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't appear that this coalition is going to hold, because according to the New York Times issue of October 19, 1998, the Labor Party doesn't like what Likud is doing with respect to peace talks. They were very upset that they haven't taken a firm stand, that they haven't decided that this is what they're going to do. And so they're going to break up. And this is certainly going to cause a lot of problems for Netanyahu and his party, because this coalition is so integral to their attempt to form a government. We've already seen that labor defecting has caused problems, because according to the Christian Science Monitor issue of December 24, 4th, 1998, it was the defection of the Labor Party that allowed the no confidence vote to pass over Benjamin Netanyahu and to allow for the new elections that will be held later this year. Certainly because of these defections and because of the problems between Likud and Labor, there are problems yet to be resolved. But perhaps it's more important that there are also problems within the Likud party proper. The way it works in Israel, there aren't primaries, so everyone who wants to run can run. This is a serious problem for Israel and for Netanyahu's party, because according to the Christian Science Monitor issue of December 12, 1998, there are tons of people who are going against Netanyahu. People like Benny Begin and Yitzhak Ibrahim have decided that they're going to run by themselves. This situation has become so harsh that it appears that no one in the Likud party will even become one of the top two candidates in the initial election. So the party may not even get anyone into the runoffs. Instead, it appears that the Labor Party has the leg up, and that people in the Labor Party are going to be able to accomplish creating a government in the next few years. So because there's all this divergence in the Likud party, they simply don't have the capability to create a government. But ultimately we have to recognize that it's not the formation of a party, or it's not if people agree with each other that gets a government into office. It's what the people think. And frankly, the people don't like Netanyahu and his party. According to the Washington Post issue of January 18th, 1999, scarcely a day goes by when you read a newspaper in Israel and you don't read about Benjamin Netanyahu being called a liar. And I know here in the United States that would probably boost his approval ratings, but the same doesn't really apply in Israel. The fact of the matter is, people don't like Bibi Netanyahu. They don't like what he's done for the country, and they don't like the direction that he's going. According to the Chicago Tribune issue of January 6th, 1999, the whole heart of the problem lies with the peace issue. Regardless of whether the people are pro-peace or anti-peace, the fact of the matter is they don't like the way Netanyahu is handling himself. He hasn't set a firm position, and because he keeps going back and forth, the people just don't like him. And I think we could easily make the connection between people not liking him and them not voting for him. So because Netanyahu doesn't have the support of the Israeli people, his coalition most likely will fail in the upcoming elections. So, as you can see, there are a lot of issues regarding Israel's political future. There are problems with Benjamin Netanyahu and his party. First, we saw that the Likud party has so many divisions within itself that the coalition with Labor will most likely fall apart. And then we saw that the people no longer like Likud, and they don't think that they're going to get elected the next time around. So when we consider the question, to what degree can the Israeli Labor Party consider itself a reasonable threat to oust the party of Netanyahu, we can see that the answer is to a great extent. Mao teaches us that if we don't like something, we got to go out and change it. The people of Israel have an opportunity in several months to change their government completely, and it appears that they will do so to create a new government in the 21st century.
May we have the timers and chairperson and the finalists in dramatic interpretation, please. Presenting the awards are Erica Bannock, Amy Henshin, and Beth Gadlin. In sixth place in DI, from Homewood Flossmoor, Amber Friendly. In fifth place from Glenbrook South, Scott Berman. In fourth, From Glenbrook North, Hunter Siemens. In third place, from Oak Lawn, Jessica Vasquez. In second place, from Sandburg, Sasha Giappo. And our tournament champion is Jessica Thigpen from Wheaton North.
The subject of my talk tonight is love, pain, and suffering. Of course, as a comfortably situated middle-aged bachelor, I must be quite an authority on pain and love, wouldn't you have thought? Recently, I've come up against a bit of experience. My experience leads me to conclude something which may come as a bit of a shock. Mr. Lewis, I'm Joy. This is my son, Douglas. How do you do, Joy? Hello, Douglas. Is it him? Will he write in my book? Just have to ask him, won't we? Douglas has brought one of his Narnia books. It is so kind of you to find time to meet me. So many people must write to you. I've enjoyed our correspondence, Joy. I'm not exactly a public figure. Oh, I see. You just write all those books and make all these talks so people will leave you alone? Oh, dear. C.S. Lewis, famous Christian philosopher and successful author of children's stories, reflects upon his relationship with Joy, a brash divorcee from New York. After a brief correspondence and awkward introduction, their friendship blooms into a deep love. But when their happiness is taken away by Joy's cancer, a new dimension is added to Lewis's old theology. Shadowlands by William Nicholson. God doesn't want us to be happy. He wants us to be worthy of love. What makes people hard to love? Isn't it commonly referred to as selfishness? Selfish people are hard to love because so little love comes out of them. It comes about when I'm quiet. She returns to me. There she is, coming towards me in mind and memory, and I love her again as I did before. Even though I know I will lose her again, be hurt again. They're going to operate on a broken hip tomorrow. How much is there to worry about, Jack? They won't tell me. It's because they're not sure themselves. Tell me, Jack. Please. They expect you to die. Thank you. What do you say, Jack? I'm a Jew, divorced mother, broke, and I'm dying of cancer. Do I get the discount? I'm going to marry you, Joy. I'm going to marry you before God and the world. Back home, we have this quaint custom. When the guy has made up his mind he wants to marry the girl, he asks her. It's called proposing, Jack. It's the same here. So did I miss it? Will you marry this foolish, frightened old man who needs you more than he can bear to say, who loves you even though he hardly knows how? Just this once. God creates us free to be selfish, but he adds a mechanism that will wake us up to the presence of other people in this world, and that mechanism is called suffering. The suffering in the world is not the failure of God's love for us, but that love in action. For believe me, this world that seems so substantial is no more than the Shadowlands. Real life hasn't begun yet. That's how old I was when you were born. I was a baby. You were nearly a man. You know, Jack, for a while I thought I might catch you up, but here I am, back to being a baby again. You were alive before. I wasn't. I started living when I started loving you, Joy. Makes me only a few months old. Could be a short life, Jack. At least it's a life. I don't know what to do, Joy. You're going to have to tell me what to do. You have to let me go. I'm not sure that I can. It's the deal, Jack. The pain then, it's part of this happiness now. Not much more to say. I love you, Joy. You've made me so happy. You are the truest person that I have ever known. Sweet Jesus, be with my Joy. Forgive me if I loved her too much. Have mercy on us both. Douglas? I don't see why she had to get sick. Nor I. When I was your age, my mother died. That was cancer too. I thought if I prayed for her to get better, if I believed she'd get better, then she wouldn't die. But she did. It doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. Do you believe in heaven? Yes. I don't believe in heaven. That's okay. I sure would like to see her again. Me too. No shadows here. Only darkness and silence, and the pain that cries like a child. I have been given the choice twice in my life. The boy chose safety. The man chooses suffering. I find I can live with the pain. The pain now is part of the happiness then. That's the deal. Only shadows, joy.
Would the timers, room chairs, and finalists in oratorical declamation come to the stage?
Sunny day, sleeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is singing. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Come and play, everything's A-OK. Friendly neighbors there, that's where we meet. Can you tell me how to get to
Assisting us with awards are Katie Nikotakis, Katie Goodale, and Mandy Behrens. In 6th place, an oratorical declamation from Wheaton North, Purvi Patel. Finishing 5th, from Fremd, Lulu Ang. In 4th place, from Downers Grove South, Camille Cuthrell. In 3rd place, from Benton, Natalie Mullen. In 2nd place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Scott Sternod. And our state champion in oratorical declamation is from Oak Lawn High School. And her name is Veronica Espinoza.
In the Department of Communication Arts, we have spent a great deal of time thinking and talking about words, the meaning of words, the persuasive value of words, the
magical implications of words, and generally the impact of words as they're delivered in messages among people. Because of this, I was especially captured by a magazine article a few months ago, which discussed how words influence people. The article suggested that the most important messages that humans deliver to one another are usually expressed in very simple terms. The article went on to suggest that the most influential messages in our language most often come in three-word phrases. Accepting responsibility for your own actions, admitting to your mistakes, and acting according to your conscience are things we are all taught while growing up. You can easily simplify your life by listening to your heart. But first and foremost, you must learn to listen with your heart, by Martha Saunders. I had to agree that three-word phrases such as, I love you, or there's no charge, or, and in conclusion, were certainly capable of prompting a strong reaction in me. And as I'd hoped to impress you with profound thought today, I've decided to share with you three-word phrases that I've found useful as I've moved along in my life. The first three-word phrase that I found useful in my life is this: I'll be there. Have you ever thought about what a comfort those three words can create? I'll be there. If you've ever had to call for a plumber over the weekend, you know how good those words can feel. Or if you've been stranded on the road with car trouble and you just used your last quarter to call a friend, you know how good those words can be. Think about them. Grandma, I'm graduating in August. I'll be there. Roommate, I'm stuck at the office and I can't get to the airport to meet my sister. I'll be there. Mom, the baby cries all night, and if I don't get some sleep, I'll perish. I'll be there. Recently, I was talking with a local business person who was occasionally in a position to hire college graduates, and she told me that the single most impressive thing that a job candidate can do is to demonstrate a real interest in the well-being of that business. Someone who will help further the objectives of that organization, whether or not he or she is on the clock, is going to be a valuable person. In other words, be somebody who will be there. One of my favorite stories about someone who really knew how to be there was told of Elizabeth, the Queen Mother of England, who was asked whether the little princesses would leave England after the Blitz of 1940. The Queen replied, "The children will not leave England unless I do. I shall not leave unless their father does, and the king will not leave the country under any circumstances whatsoever. I'll be there." The second phrase I want to present to you is perhaps the hardest to learn to say. I know it was for me, and it sometimes still is. That phrase is, maybe you're right. Think about it. How many times have we been in arguments with a loved one that gave us a headache, or even more, cost us a close relationship? If more people would learn to say maybe you're right, the marriage counselors would be out of business. And with a little luck, the gun shops. Now I know from experience that this phrase can have a disarming effect on an opponent in an argument. In fact, one of my lawyer friends uses it often in his closing remarks, and he is a very successful lawyer. Maybe you're right. It has been my experience that when we get so hung up on getting our own way that we cannot concede on any point, we are doing ourselves a real disservice. Hey, make life a little easier on yourself. You know the old saying, there's 100 ways to skin a cat, and every single one of them is right. Maybe you're right. The third phrase I want to introduce to you, I must have heard 1,000 times when I was a little girl. Whenever I was faced with a tough decision, I would turn to my mother and ask what I should do. Her response was always the same three-word phrase: your heart knows. And then she would go on about what she was doing. My heart knows, I would think to myself. What's that supposed to mean? I need advice here. I need for you to tell me what I should do. She would just smile at me and say, your heart knows, honey. Your heart knows. But as I was a stubborn child, I would throw my hands on my hips and say, maybe so, but my heart isn't talking. To this she would respond, learn to listen. This brings me to the point of my speech. You know, life doesn't come in the form of a degree plan. There's no great advisor out there who's going to give you a checklist and say, do these things and you'll earn your degree in life. To some extent, the page is blank now. You may have a rough outline of where you're headed, but I can assure you that you won't get there without having to make some tough decisions. And decision making is never easy. You may be able to find people to suggest what you should do, but for the most part, no one will be willing to accept responsibility for your mistakes. You are going to have to make your own choices. My advice for you today is to learn to listen with and to your heart. Psychologists call this turning into our subconscious. Spiritual leaders call it turning to a higher power. Whatever you call it, there is an ability in each of you to find the right answers for your life. It's there, and it is a powerful gift that all the education or degrees in the world can't acquire for you. You've had it all along. Now you're just going to have to use it. In The Bending of the Bow, George Moore wrote, "The difficulty in life is the choice. Choose well."
May I have the finalists in special occasion speaking, please? Will the timers and chair people come up to present the awards?
Not getting hassled, not getting hustled, keeping your head above water, making a way when you can. Temporary layoffs, good times.
Presenting the awards in oratorical declamation are Jessica Angelos, Misty Thiessen, and Nicole Kerr. In sixth place, from DeKalb, Omar Uddin. In fifth place, from Glenbrook North, Mark Rosenmutter. In fourth place, from Homewood Flossmoor, Emily Africano. In third, from Glenbard West, Molly Worthen. In second place, from Benton, Natalie Mullen. And our state champion from Wheaton, Warrenville South, Jason Miller.
And then this is going to go over your head.
All right, let's start out with a little test, shall we? Mom walks into your bedroom with the various street signs you and your friends have been stealing from the neighborhood and says she thinks you have a problem with stealing things. Now, how do you react to your mother's criticism? Do you A, act defensive? How could your mother accuse her only son of being a thief? B, say, hey, Ma, this is my way of studying for driver's ed. Love it or leave it. Or C, distract the poor woman long enough to slip in a sucker punch to the rib cage. Had it coming, didn't knock. Each and every one of us, according to Bits and Pieces magazine, like every single successful person you will ever meet in life, faces criticism. Regardless of your job, your social standing, your position in life. The more success you receive, the more criticism you receive. Therefore, it is only those who try absolutely nothing that will remain forever above criticism. So in order to better understand this common yet uncomfortable condition, I, Jason Miller, a high school senior and also an alumni of these hallowed halls, have been asked to kick off Better Directions Week, a really progressive idea at this fine Illinois Juvenile Correctional Institute in beautiful Warrenville, Illinois. First, we'll look at the difference between constructive and destructive criticism. Secondly, how to deal with this criticism the split second it comes careening your way. And finally, how to better understand and appreciate this criticism, no matter how difficult it is to digest. According to a study at North Dakota State University, whenever dealing with any criticism, it is imperative to first recognize the difference between constructive and destructive criticism. Constructive criticism is positive. You know, Marty, you really should be quiet while the rest of us try to learn. Destructive criticism is negative. Marty, you are single-handedly destroying this class experience. Now shut up or I will shut you up. Constructive criticism looks for ways to improve future behavior. Marty, what do you say we try not talking for, say, a minute, shall we? Destructive criticism tries to hurt or humiliate the student. Marty, put this bag on your head for the rest of the day. If anybody asks, let's say it's a science project, shall we? Don't forget the rubber band. Constructive criticism... Let's breathe, Marty, okay? Breathe. Keep breathing. Constructive criticism tries to show care, concern, compassion for the individual. You know, Marty, you've got a lot of great potential. Perhaps we can just find an area you can better focus that energy, shall we? Destructive criticism tries to control, manipulate, even just to get attention. Hey, everyone, look at me. I'm big old talking Marty. Gonna talk all period, if that's all right with you. Talking away. Whether or not it's constructive or destructive criticism, how we deal with that criticism can often make or break our success in life. It can also lead to stress, anxiety, and cancer. I think. Oh, be critical. Sure. That's so like you. According to Carmen Richards, president of the American Family Education Association, there are two effective ways in which we can deal with this criticism each and every day. Number one, stay cool. Now this is the important one, guys. This is the one that got us in here in the first place, remember? Whenever we're being criticized, it's very common, natural to feel hurt, upset, ready to say, oh yeah, says you rotten, stinky, smelly face. Instead, when someone says this, take a few deep breaths. Take a walk around the building. Get some exercise. Kick a puppy. By using these effective ways of staying cool, we can make sure we don't use any defensive, knee-jerk reactions that may actually only bring on more criticism in the future. Number two, agree with the criticism and watch it go away. According to Dr. Richard Carlson in his book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, by simply agreeing with the criticism, you can often stop it right in its tracks. I find this works very well in most arguments. You know what, Miller? You're really a rotten, stinky, smelly face. Yes, I am. Ha! Yeah, and you got wait, what? No? Man, you're totally right. I mean, I've tried everything. Cold creams, vinegar. I even put my head in a bowl of Chanel No. 5 once. I mean, you know, nothing seems to work. Oh, Miller, man. Yeah. Oh, remember, dude, you know, I'm just, you know, no, my face reeks, man. I want to thank you for pointing it out to me. Have a nice day. Critic's gone. The attack has stopped. You've taken away his criticism ammo, if you will. He's got nothing left to say to you because you simply agreed with the criticism. Now, we've looked at the difference between constructive and destructive criticism. We've also looked at ways to deal with this criticism each and every day when it comes your way. Finally, how to better understand and appreciate this criticism, no matter how difficult it is to digest. For this, we looked at Dr. Rudolf Verteber in his book, Communicate. In his book, Verteber says, first, think of criticism as being in your best interest. I mean, after all, we've all got things wrong with us, things people think we need to change. And who better to point out your faults, your shortcomings, your inadequacies, than your friends and loved ones? Chances are they know you better than anyone else. And perhaps they do see something in you that they think needs changing, something they'd like to see improved. It's not something to get so emotional about. If your parole officer says you've got a bad attitude, well, it doesn't mean you need to key his car or egg his house now, does it? Simply take it for what it's worth. It might actually be true, and it could even help you. Verteber secondly says, only use constructive criticism when it's absolutely necessary. Now, girls, you all know what I'm talking about. Every time you buy a new dress or a blouse, you don't have to ask how it looks. Simply only use it when you absolutely have to. We all know that asking for and giving criticism can be extremely uncomfortable for both people involved. So think of it like Batman's bat shark repellent. Now, if Batman went around spraying every single friendly shark in the water with his bat shark repellent, what would he do that one time when a hostile shark was threatening Robin's life? He was... be all out. Should only use it when it's... I'd like to thank you for letting me speak to you here today. At Better Directions Week, a really progressive idea at this fine Illinois Juvenile Correctional Institute. In closing, I'd like you to remember what I said earlier in the speech, that each and every one of us faces criticism every single day. And you all know what I'm talking about because you have seen it tenfold. Your 6 months, your 12 months, your 2 years with good behavior. That's your criticism. It's a little bit longer than everyone else's, but it's your criticism. But the greatest minds of our time have been criticized. Pablo Picasso, Albert Einstein, Bart Simpson. We're all criticized for the things they did because they did it wrong. They did it different than everyone else, just like you. But the difference is they took that criticism and decided to do something brilliant with it. So the choice is yours. You can either choose to do nothing, or you can choose to dance with your disdainment. You're all on the road to success, and remember, criticism is not the potholes in the road. It is simply the colorful billboards along the way.
Finishing in 7th place, from Orland Park, Sandburg, Gita Malhotra. In 6th place, from Glenbard West, Catherine Hawley. In 5th place, from Homewood Flossmoor, Mario Joby. Finishing 4th, from Warren Township, Larnell Foster. In third place, from Downers Grove South, Camille Cuthrell. Finishing second, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Stacy Williard. And our state champion from Rich East High School, Dominique Porter.
It was funny, the way the word just flew out of my mouth without stopping. Haven't you ever flashed on something a beat before it happens, with plenty of time to consider, reverse, and rearrange? But instead, you just sit there like a dumb animal watching it happen. In society today, words are often misused and said without caution. Because of this, we find it can be difficult to realize how powerful words really are. In her unique style of verse, Patricia Smith relays this to her readers. The word. So, the word, which I felt taking shape behind my teeth and snuggling there for a moment, flew out of my mouth and didn't stop. The sound hit the air with a smack. It only felt sour for a moment. Then it felt okay. It didn't feel right, but it felt okay. We're almost never right about stuff before we've done it. We think it's one way, and then we do it for the first time and realize it's something completely different from how we thought it was supposed to be. So the word flew out, and I didn't get punished or yelled at or slapped. In fact, no one even noticed or looked at me curiously. The world kept spinning merrily along, and soon it was the next day. And I wondered if I could say the word again. I expected to feel different when I said the word. I wanted it to mean something, that I could say the word without blinking or flinching or getting yelled at or punished. But it wound up that the word didn't mean anything to anybody anymore. So I just said, that's all. Here was a word that shaped me, made me cry, made me spit and sputter and scream, made me walk for years like a shadow through the city with my eyes pointing down and my breathing as quiet as I could make it. Here was the last word my great-grandfather heard before he died. And here I said it. And I just said it. That's all. I was what you call a disadvantaged kid, which is to say I lived on the west side of Chicago with roaches and canned goods and parents who were factory workers. But I was good in school because I liked words. And I was chosen to be a part of a program that sent city kids to the country, but left the country kids where they were. I thought it would be funny to send one of those countrified kids to come live with me and my mama and daddy, and the roaches that fell from the ceiling to our faces when we were sleeping at night. But I wound up in a place called Stockton, Illinois, with a red-headed family who drank warm, funny-smelling milk straight from the cow. Anyway, this was a pretty decent family. I guess they had to be decent or crazy in Stockton, Illinois to take a little colored girl into their home. And since there wasn't much to do but swing and play ball and get up at 5 in the morning for breakfast, the family, a mom, a pop, and 2 kids, tried their best to entertain me. And part of entertaining me meant taking me to the Kmart in Freeport. They talked about it for days, like we were going to an amusement park or something. I tried my best to act like I was excited, but I'd been to Kmart's before, and I never stayed up all night in anticipation. In this Kmart, folks looked at me like I was naked. I bet you've never had the feeling of being naked in a place where everyone else is wearing clothes. They all had these hard, red faces, looking at me like, how dare I come into this place black, naked, and ashy. Finally, we were in the checkout line, and the red-headed family had treated me to a pair of gold earrings, which were turning green even as the cashier rung them up. A little mop-haired kid sat in the baby seat of a cart in front of us, with an identical mop-haired mother paying for her stuff. The kid's voice was sweet, and I saw the word coming. Saw something bad in the kid's eyes, but I couldn't stop her, and she wasn't about to stop. Look, Mama, a nigger. Nigger. The word flew out without stopping. I saw the word coming. I felt the word coming. The little mop-haired kid and her mop-haired mother felt the word coming. The red-headed family felt the word coming. But there we were, a bunch of dumb animals watching it happen. For years, the word was my secret. I'd heard it become a curse, then a sneer, then a joke. Now it's just another part of talking, like saying buddy or Joe or Tyrone. Like in, nigga, you must be joking. Or, nigga, if you don't get out of my face right now. But sometimes, especially when it comes from between clenched teeth, the word means exactly what it means.
May we have the timers, the chairperson, and the finalist in original oratory, please. Presenting the awards in oratory are Becca Cave and Autumn Notter. In 7th place, from beautiful Johnston City, Illinois, Adam Key. In 6th place, from Wheaton Warrenville South, Lauren DeMarzo. In 5th place, from Hayworth, Gina Neiswanger. In fourth place, from Thornridge, Lemille Island. In third place, from Rochelle, Kim Zamastil. In second place, from Oak Lawn, Brenda Davidson. And our tournament champion, from Downers Grove South, Jenny Bulla.
Fable tells of a poor woodcutter who had two children who kept a blackbird in a cage in their home. But the two weren't satisfied with this blackbird because what they really wanted was the bluebird of happiness. So they traveled through many lands in search of this desired bluebird. But they came home dissatisfied and discouraged. Then, to their amazement, they realized that the blackbird they had lent to a sick child next door had turned into a bluebird. Ironically, the bluebird of happiness had been theirs all along. Like these children, we too are slow in realizing what we really have. We spend much of our waking hours on a quest to find happiness. And when we're not awake, I imagine most of us dream of it. Be it day or night, we dream of that fulfilling job, a huge house, lots of money, the perfect mate, you know, the good life. But often these dreams are shattered by obstacles that stand in our way. Roadblocks to our personal satisfaction that come to us in the form of negative attitudes, criticism, doubt, and cynicism. Such barriers can either be inflicted by those around us or, surprisingly, self-made. In short, we are surrounded by doomsayers, warning us of everything from the end of the world to cellulite in toddlers. Kind of hard to keep your sunny side up. The result? A society where we focus on the negative instead of accentuating the positive. A place where we miss the sweet song of the bluebird because all we can see is that caged blackbird. So, we're on a search to discover what may already be ours. To do this, we must first look at the problem of letting obstacles stand in the way of our happiness. Next, we'll let the good times roll and explore some causes as to why we have chosen to give in to these obstacles. And finally, come on, get happy, so we can find some solutions and turn ourselves into a more positive, satisfied, and loving society. Growing up, we constantly had these visions of happily ever after. Once upon a time, we were told that we could do anything we set our minds to be all that we could be, that there was an endless world of possibilities out there just waiting to make us feel happy and secure. Now, I don't know about you, but I believed it. But today, with a quick flip of the TV remote, a brief conversation with a friend, or even the average day at school, we have to start to wonder if perhaps Stuart Smalley was wrong. Because we aren't good enough, we aren't smart enough, and gosh, I don't know if anybody really likes us. In reality, we are overwhelmed with these constant negative messages. According to Dr. Catherine Knowles, professor of communications at the University of Washington, over half of the media messages we receive about adolescents are negative. We're constantly being called fat, lazy, disrespectful, violent, and depressed. Everyone's a critic. In a Peanuts cartoon, Linus is sitting on the couch with his security blanket in place and his thumb resting safely in his mouth, but he's still troubled. So he turns to Lucy and says, "Lucy, why are you so anxious to criticize me?" The response was typical Lucy. "Linus, I just feel that I have a knack for seeing other people's faults." Sadly, Lucy is truly a reflection of our own society. That is, a society that takes pride in criticizing others just to elevate ourselves. What we're left with is indeed a society of critics. Granted, we need criticism to grow. Because let's face it, if people told us that we were perfect all the time, we wouldn't have that motivation to move on. However, it's when we let this criticism and negativity become all-consuming that we start to lose a sense of ourselves. Sure, it's inevitable that some people aren't going to like us. Somebody might not agree with us. And of course, our first reaction is to just say, "Get over it." But unfortunately, the harms that come out of all of this can be devastating. According to Dr. Wendy Ladar, author of Bodily Harms, excessive criticism can lead to eating disorders, a low capacity to sustain stable relationships, and a low self-esteem. We're constantly being told that in reality, we aren't good enough. Child psychologist and author of The Hurried Child, David Elkind, says that 58% of children under age 10 have experienced feelings of sadness and depression when met with extreme criticism. 10! You know, they should be coloring. They should be looking for the joy in living. Perhaps we all should. But instead, we've allowed others to bring us down, causing us to forget who we really are. So, the causes of all of this are all too obvious. Simply put, if we are told often enough that we are without worth, surely we will lose that part of ourselves that makes us thrive. And with that, our sense of well-being. And finally, the joy that allows us to appreciate each other and love ourselves. You know, we may think that by losing 10 pounds or bleaching our hair, we will somehow transform into the ultimate human specimen, and that along with that comes total happiness. But we're wrong. We love to scoff at these hopeless romantics, but at the same time we are all sitting at home desperately wishing that our lives would be just like in the movies. And I'll tell you something, I couldn't have been happier that Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks got mail. I mean, my heart melted when they saved Private Ryan. And baby, I couldn't have been more excited that Stella got her groove back. Our hearts ache for these happy endings, free from our daily obstacles. But we're constantly told that in reality, we need to be negative. While we yearn for these happily ever after endings, we're constantly being reminded that in reality, they don't happen. So let's wake up and find some solutions, because we have all lost that loving feeling, and it's gone, gone, gone. Stop me before I say, whoa, 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 whoa. But now it's time to get it back. So let's start by becoming more loving and caring to those around us. You know, we're constantly watching these talk shows where people are having their $50,000 debts paid off or moving into brand new homes because theirs was destroyed by flooding. And as an audience, we're moved. I mean, our hearts go out to these people because deep down we realize that people do care about other people. It's amazing how easy it is to lose sight of that. We find ourselves too busy to make time for the little things without realizing that it is those things that will bring to us what we're looking for. And we need to start remembering some of the values we held as children, back when we were confident, curious, truthful, and loving to others. According to spiritual leader Deepak Chopra, to be childlike is to be spiritual. It is the heart of our creativity, our wonder, and our love. The bottom line is, people will always criticize. There will always be disagreement and conflict. We can't change the world, but we can certainly change our place in the world. We mustn't let the critics and cynics define us, because as simplistic as it may sound, we have to listen to our hearts and make those happy endings come true for ourselves. We all remember at the end of The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy says, "If I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I'll know not to look any further than my own backyard, because if it isn't there, well, then I never really lost it to begin with." Now, the first time I heard that, I remember getting a little choked up. And while I realize it's kind of corny to tell you that now, I was moved. And the reason's simple. She was right. Just like the children who couldn't hear the song of the bluebird, we too have to start looking in the right place. We have to start realizing what is really important to us. And the only way to do that is by looking inside ourselves. And if we're paying attention, the songs we hear will be those of the bluebird.
Can we have the finalists, the timers, and the room chair for dramatic duet acting? Helping us present awards are Jill Aguado, Jenny Goodwin, and Jeanette Ray. Finishing in 6th place in dramatic duet acting from Hayworth, Gordon, and Smith. In 5th place from Glenbard West, Ulrich and Kelly. Finishing 4th from DeKalb, Booth and Palmer. In 3rd place from Glenbrook South, Dembo and Winand. Finishing in 2nd place from Warren Township, Economist and Macala. Our dramatic duet state champions who went 1-1-1, 1-1-1, 1-1-1-1-1. From Wheaton, Warrenville South, Miller and May. While the guys are getting mic'd, we have some IHSA history set today. Dave May is the first time ever 4 four-time state champion.
Let's do it. Which one do you want to be? Come on, jacket. Sorry. All right, let's go.
All right, Jimmy, you ready to go?
Okay.
Okay, on three. Catch the ball on three. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, good catch, man. Good catch. Tell you what, this time, how about you catch it in the glove? All right, not in the hat, the glove. Okay? Here we go. On three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, Jimmy, come here. What's the deal with the hat, man? Why aren't you using the glove? Remember the glove? Me and you playing out here with the glove together?
Nope. Okay. I want to go color instead. It's more fun.
Okay. All right, grab that green. Favorite color, right, Jim?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Look at that, huh?
Yeah.
That's nice. Real nice.
Yep.
This here is Jimmy, my older brother. At 17, Jimmy contracted a rare and incurable brain disease that has slowly eaten away at his motor skills, his ability to reason, and his self-control. This is our final summer together. Romanus Isaacs, brother and brother.
Brother and brother, Steven.
That's right, brother and brother. Yeah. All right, buddy, I got a list for you. All right, Jim, look at this. Number 1, SpaghettiOs. We know how to make SpaghettiOs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Number 2, wash your hands. No more eating SpaghettiOs with crayon all over your fingers, remember?
Okay.
Okay. Number 3, feed the dog. We all know how the dog gets when he's hungry, huh? Okay, I'm late. I'll be back, all right, Jim?
No,
Jimmy, I'm
Steven.
late. Would you please, Jimmy, what?
No, you promised. You said you'd stay. I don't know how to make SpaghettiOs.
Oh, come on, you know how to make SpaghettiOs. Jimmy, don't do this. Listen, remember the song, red button, green button, start? You know what you're doing.
No,
okay, Jimmy?
Steven,
Jimmy, just give me an hour, okay?
Steven,
Please.
you promised.
What are you doing? Stop.
You promised.
How many ridges on a dime, Jimmy?
I don't know.
Answer me. How many ridges on a dime?
210.
Good. Dimples on a golf ball?
No, 336.
All right.
Yeah.
Change for $1.
293.
Okay, look at you, huh? I'll be back, all right, Jim? Okay. That's the game we used to play. Jimmy and I would memorize crazy and unusual facts and quiz each other. The more bizarre, the better. And we played this game until I never won. Ever, but it's okay. I learned some useful information. For example, I know that an ostrich's eye is bigger than his brain. There are 293 ways to make change for $1, and that's stewardess. Stewardess is the longest word you can type with your left hand only. Huh? These are the things I know. These are the things he taught me. And yet, for some reason, I don't know how to tell my older brother that he's going to die. I mean, I've tried. Oh, guys, I've tried, but he is just so...
336.
Jimmy, I'm home.
336.
Karen says hi. How you doing, man? Where are you at?
336. Yeah. 336.
What are you still doing up here?
336.
What'd you do tonight, Jimmy?
Then was on a regulation golf ball, Steven.
You're still mad at me, aren't you?
No.
Yeah, you are. Look, I've got to leave the house sometimes, okay, Jimmy? All right? Okay, start acting like my older brother, okay?
I am your old brother, Steven. Stupid brother.
Did it again, didn't you?
No.
You did.
No.
I'm gone, what, 4 hours? And you just sat there. Didn't even move a muscle, huh?
No.
You didn't even eat your SpaghettiOs. Jimmy, the can's not even open.
Shut up, Steven.
Go pick that up.
No.
Look, we're not throwing things around here. No, go pick that up right now. Jimmy, brother and brother, okay? Brother and brother, okay? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Brother. Sometimes I have a dream. I wake up in the morning and...
Wait a sec. You get home from Karen's house at 12:30 last night, and that's a so-so night? No, not in this house, it's not.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Hey, it's cool. Don't worry about it, man. I'm proud of you, little brother. All right, let's get started. How many bridges on a dime?
110. Come on.
All right, John Lennon's first girlfriend.
Thelma Pickles.
Original color of Coca-Cola.
Green.
How many ridges on a nickel?
152.
Ah! Jeez! It's that pain I get when you're wrong. Dang, come here.
What's wrong?
You can take a look.
See that?
What's that? Hey, what do you know? It's all better. Thank you. Let's talk about this. Okay, ridges on a nickel.
Right, okay.
Yeah, nickels are smooth, unlike you, remember?
Right.
Yeah, and you know what that means, right?
Of course, yeah.
What does it mean?
You win.
What?
You win.
Louder.
You win.
Louder.
You win.
Yes, I win. You know why I win? Because I always win. Because I'm the older brother. And I'm always going to beat you. Okay. You're in my house now, Steven. And I'm always going to beat you.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present
How about a movie, Jimmy? Yeah, how about The Natural? Remember The Natural?
Okay.
Go set it up for me, all right? I'll,
Okay.
all right?
Okay.
I'll go get us something to drink.
Okay.
Okay.
Kool-Aid, please.
All right, Kool-Aid. The Natural, man. Jeez. How many times we watched this? What, 50, 55?
62.
62 times? Okay.
This is my favorite movie.
Jimmy, you know in this movie at the end, when the game's over and all the...
This is my favorite part.
Jimmy, listen, do you ever wonder what happens when our game's over? Our game?
In baseball?
No, here, give me this. Hold on a second. Jimmy, listen, Jimmy, please. How many ridges are on a dime?
110. I know. I don't know how many ridges on a dime. I know. State Bird, New Mexico. I know. I know I'm going to die. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. And oh, Steven, it's okay. Yep, it's okay. Yeah. Steven, this is my favorite part, Steven. This is my favorite part. Sweet hits a home run. Kablooey!
Me too, Jimmy. This is my favorite part too.
Yeah.
May we have the timekeepers, the room chairman, and the finalists in humorous interpretation, please. Presenting the HI Awards are Adam Babrick and Tony Crowley. In 7th place, from Glenbard West, Brett Halloran. In 6th place, from Thornton, Jonathan Stevens. In 5th place, from right here at home at Warren, Nick Crowley. And Nick gets the medal from his big brother. In 4th place, from Downers Grove South, Wendy Lindenmeyer. In 3rd, from Sandburg, Leo Westman. In 2nd place, from Homewood Flossmoor, Josh Green. And our HI state champion is Scott Berman from Glenbrook South.
Sir, I have a question to ask. This pest is always asking me questions. It's always, can you tell me this? Can you tell me that? Die! You want to know about me? Fine. I am a less than tall Jewish man who is strikingly good looking for a funny looking 2,000-year-old guy. I see. Never mind. What is it now, pest? Well, seeing how you're 2,000 years old and all, I was just wondering if you ever knew any famous people. I knew Paul Revere. He lived right next door to me. He was an anti-Semite. He hated the Jews. In fact, he was so afraid that we Jews were moving into his neighborhood that he rode up and down the block all night on his horse, screaming, "The Yiddish are coming! The Yiddish are coming! Yeah!" No. He was yelling, "The British are coming! The British are coming!" The British? I burnt down his house when he was still in it, screaming, help me, help me! What's done is done. You must have seen a lot in your time. I have seen so much in my time that I have divided my life into a series of chapters. Is there a chapter on the secret to longevity? Yeah, it's called None of Your Damn Business. For 2,000 years, he's been living life to its fullest. He's experienced all the great battles, such as the Civil War, World War I, and the Jerry Springer Show. Through the years, he's managed to maintain only a little bit of his sanity. No, he's not Bob Dole. He is The 2,000-Year-Old Man in the Year 2000 by Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner. Chapter 1, Close to 500 Wives. I've been married close to 500 times. Of those marriages, 71% were absolutely perfect. The other 29%, squabbles. Don't eat soup with your fork.
Don't leave your sandals by the cave entrance.
Don't have sex with the neighbor's wife. Who were you married the longest to? Bessie. And was she an unhappy woman? Day and night she sang the blues. All day long she sang, baby, 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 that's all you want from me. If you make me more babies, I'm leaving on the 503. 'Cause I'm a woman, not a baby machine. Call me. How long was your briefest marriage? 1 day. It was to Bernice Zolotov. Oh, I still get upset thinking about it. Bernice, she was a great kisser. But unfortunately, Bernice turned out to be Bernie, so I killed him. You killed him? Most people your age, what do you mean most people my age? There's only me. Most people my age are dead. Let me ask you a question. If a plane is traveling 5,000 miles and a train is traveling 10,000 miles in the opposite direction, then how many licks does it take, eh? Chapter 2, 42,000 children. I have more than 42,000 children, the most famous of which is named Moses. Bessie loved that guy. You couldn't walk into the house without hearing her sing, look what Moses brought us, from his trip to the mountains, they're not just tablets, they're commandments, and they're made out of stone, they're heavy. He sounds like a popular guy. He was a born leader. Wherever he went, people followed him. They even made a picture book about him. See Moses. See Pharaoh. See Moses run. See God. See God throw a stick. See Moses catch the stick. See the stick turn into a snake. See Pharaoh run. See God laugh. Chapter 3. What the hell are you looking at? I invented that phrase. Chapter 4. One crazy Jew. After that Bernie thing, I moved to Madrid and opened up a darling little hat shop called Yarmulkes Galore. Shalom! The shop was a hit until the big crash, which you know of as the Spanish Inquisition. The Grand Inquisitor arrested me and hung me on a wall in chains and asked, "Comfortable?" I make a nice living. Are you a Jew? Is the air conditioning on in here? Have you ever seen the devil? I know where he lives. What? Do you deny your faith? What do you mean deny? Well, you recant your faith. What do you mean recant? Well, you change your faith. What do you mean you're? Unless you say you want to be a Christian and don't want to be a Jew anymore, we are going to shove this red hot poker up your tush. Go ahead, shove it up my tush. Get another guy with another red hot poker and shove it down my throat. Meet in the middle and make a rotisserie Jew. This is one crazy Jew. If we convert him, we'll have a crazy Christian. But he should be a Jew. Chapter 5, the blue tongue disease. I woke up one morning and my tongue was all blue. Weren't you afraid? Like a little girl walking down a dark alley. Lucky for me, Sigmund Freud was at hand. So, you have a blue tongue. That's great. Why are you touching my head, you quack? I'm a head doctor. It's what we do. Tell me what you have been eating lately. I ate what I always ate. I had some matzo ball soup, a tongue sandwich, and a well-chilled celery tonic. That's it. The tongue is depressed. It's feeling blue, so it turned blue. Pretend I am the tongue. What am I thinking? I'm thinking, this guy loves the tongue, and I'm just laying here in the middle of his mouth with teeth on all sides of me. I'm vulnerable. And that made sense, so I never ate tongue again. Chapter 6, Pet Peeves. I don't know about you, Stumpy, but I hate the rap music. It's not even music. It's just some guy going, Jimmy, 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 gimme, 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 do me. Word it up, Funky Fresh in the house. What the hell does that mean? I just don't know. Is there anything you hate more than rap music? I hate you. And what I hate more than you is when I make a phone call and hear, if you know your party's extension, press 1. If you don't know your party's extension, press 2. Press 6 if you want your pants pressed. If you're bleeding from the tuchus, press 911. You can never get a human being. Well, what do you suggest? I suggest you go back to the old-fashioned ways. If something terrible happens to you and you need assistance, pick up your phone, throw it out the window, stick your head out the hall and yell, somebody, I need help, and don't call 911, just get the hell up here. Chapter 7, the silent years. Chapter 8. Words of wisdom. Do you have any words of wisdom for us? Why the hell do you think I named the chapter Words of Wisdom? My words of wisdom to you are this. Stop asking all these questions. I'm an old man. Now get lost before I stick Moses and that stick on you. Chapter 9. What the hell are you looking at? That's right, you. What the hell are you looking at? The show's over. Get lost. Another mashugana. Oy vey.
Can we have the timers, the room chair, and the finalists in prose reading?
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curls. It's the story of a man named Brady who was busy with 3 boys of his own.
Assisting with awards are Jamie Edwards and Annie Calhoun. Finishing in 7th place in prose reading from Evanston, Jillian Schultz. In 6th place from Thorn Ridge, April Morgan. In 5th place from Richards, Mark Robinson. Finishing 4th from Wheaton Warrenville South, Scott Sternad. In 3rd place from Oak Lawn Community, Brenda Davidson. Finishing second from DeKalb, Matt Allen. And our state champion in prose reading, Jenny Bulla from Downers Grove South.
What other neurotic Catholic girls do in their downtime, but I spend it playing masochistic mind games with the Lord. Pretty soon after graduating from college, I found myself at a convent, begging for my life. I broke down completely. Sobbing, I explained to a bunch of nuns whom I didn't even know that I was waiting for an HIV test result that was to determine whether I was going to live or die. I picked up my results the next day. I realized I was negative, and I went home thanking God all the way. I had a lot of thinking to do. We've all made New Year's resolutions, daily affirmations, promises with fingers tightly crossed. But change is a fleeting thing, and we soon return to more familiar paths. But when circumstances change, it is the depth of our character that will be the true mark of our values. Clementine, by Caitlin O'Connor Creevy. I decided that I was going to wait until I cared about somebody, maybe even wait until I fell in love. So I decided to make a pact with myself and abstain for an entire year. I circled the date, June 16th. Then unfortunately one day I ran into Ian, this guy I used to date, and well, there went my pact. I was devastated that I could be so weak. But after about a month, I decided that I was really ready to settle down a little bit. So I met a guy through a coworker of mine who had a cable access show. I saw Charles on the show. I expressed interest, and my coworker set us up. After about 2 months, we slept together. We dated for some weeks following, but I began to realize that Charles just wasn't the one. So I broke it off. And you know, the funny thing is, I didn't even flinch when my pregnancy test came back positive. I had prepared myself for such a moment over 100 times. It was kind of a miracle that it hadn't happened before. And I thought, well, great. You know, I could carry this baby to term and give it away to two wonderful people who can't conceive. The next order of business was telling Charles. He completely freaked out. He started screaming about how his parents were going to kill him, and after a minute or two, he actually asked me about an abortion. And I told him, as I told him when we were together, and as I believe I even told him the night of conception, that abortion was not something I considered. I mean, at that point in my pregnancy, I was even sensitive about hearing the word. So onward with the adoption. I called a 1-800 number matching service that matches birth parents and adoptive parents. Tina, the woman who ran the service, read me profiles of possible couples. What you find out after being given the option to choose the people to raise your child is that what you're looking for is really just a better version of yourself. A richer, more accomplished, more stable, married version of yourself to bring up your baby. The couple most suited to me was Michael and Ellen, and it took us about 2 weeks to make contact. In the meantime, I had told my family. I didn't think I could handle being 7 months pregnant and moving for the 6th time in a year without a little bit of help. And they told me that they loved me. that they were proud of my decision not to have an abortion. And I nodded, saying, "Thank you. Thank you very much." I meant it, but I was feeling very matter-of-fact. It was kind of as if I had looked down at the calendar and realized it was "tell your parents you're pregnant" day, and I was just kind of fielding the obligatory phone call. You know, as I talked to Michael and Ellen more and more, I began to realize that they were by far the most real possibility I had encountered. But I wasn't ready to say, "Okay, fly out here." Not yet. Something seemed, I don't know, wrong somehow. I was having one of my daily phone conversations with my mom when hysteria took over. I hate the idea of single motherhood. I see these women on the subway making their way down to the platforms, lugging strollers, and I see them struggling. No money, no man. And you know, in the same subway car, there are dozens of deadbeat fathers not giving these women seats. And I resent the women, because I think to myself, how can they do it? I mean, how could they do it to themselves? How could they do it to these babies? I'm so terrified by the prospect of losing my hopes and my dreams. I mean, I feel alone, pitiful, and disenchanted with destiny. I spit on the word single mom. It is against everything I want for this baby. What I want is family. Dad, kid, house, dog. You know, I want to make eggs. I want to own a medicine cabinet with Band-Aids in it. I want an environment where two people who love each other and are dedicated to one another for life create children. After the 7th month, it started sinking in. Giving the baby away wasn't going to be so easy. I still wanted to do it, but I was beginning to feel for my little angel. It was moving all the time. These maternal feelings seemed dangerous to me. I was supposed to give the baby up. That was the whole reason for this pregnancy, but by the 9th month I went back and forth every day. I want it, I don't want it. I was petrified by excruciating indecision. I started getting anxious. It was Monday, December 10th, 11 days after my due date. I had a doctor's appointment that morning. The doctor asked me if I wanted to induce labor, and I decided to go for it. So the induction began on schedule. The delivery went fairly well. And at 7 a.m., they put a beautiful baby girl in my arms. Clementine. And I lay there exhausted holding her. And you know, it wasn't a poof of smoke or a flash or a click or anything like that, but it was clear. I was in love with her. I mean, she was my baby. We were together and everything felt normal. Overwhelming, beautiful, hard to understand, but normal. I don't know, the first week or two were a hormonal circus. During a middle of the night feeding I was watching To Die For, the movie became so heartbreaking and disturbed that I had to get up and turn it off, but before I could, a murder was committed. And I watched as the police went to go tell this woman that her son was dead. And I watched her scream with abandon. And I got so choked up that I could hardly breathe. And it was at that moment that I realized I understood a mother's love. And I ran to Clementine, picking her up, sobbing onto her, so terrified that vileness had slipped into her subconscious like a little ghost. I wanted to go in there and break it into a million pieces. And I held her tiny body so tight. And I looked at her face as she looked up at me. And I realized that she had weathered this incident without harm. And it was then that I felt the warmth fill me up. Never have I felt a sweeter love.
Last event. May we have the chairperson and the timekeepers for original comedy.
Come and knock on our door. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you. Where the kisses are.
Presenting the awards are Liz Wang and Tally Ronan.
Come and dance on our floor. Dance on our floor. Take a step that is new. Take a step that is new. Leave a lovable space that meets your face. Three's company too. You'll see.
In sixth place, from DeKalb, Josh Yardley. In fifth place, from Champaign Centennial, Vince Dill. In fourth place, from Thornton, Mark Heath. In third, from Rich Central, Adam Kalesperis. In second place, from Downers Grove South, Kate Mulligan. And our tournament champion with 11 first places this weekend, the homeboy from Warren, Jason Economist.
I wonder if they're looking at my butt.
Fall Night with Steve. On tonight's show, more animals from Outback Jack. And now, here is Steve. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Super Steve Power Hour. My name is Steve. Okay, you all know my sidekick, Andrew. You said it, Andrew. I just want to let you guys know right now that we couldn't afford a flashing applause sign. So every time I do this, I want you guys to clap and laugh. It means the same thing. Okay. So you guys want to hear a joke? Okay. So there's a new pirate movie coming out, and it's rated R. Thank you. While I sit at my desk, let's give it up for our first guest, Marco Castillo, Master of Illusion. A man so sly, he has rubber pockets because he steals soup. Hello. Tonight, I will prove that the hand is quicker than the eye. Thanks, Marco. That magic's sure to boost our ratings. And you know what the producer said, a few more Nielsen points and I can get a real desk chair and stop squatting like an idiot. Okay, now let's see what's up down under with wild animal expert Outback Jack. Well, say, he's one of your favorite guests, isn't he, Andrew? Right. Now what I bought tonight is an Australian zebraback dingo named Matilda. She's an incredibly peaceful... Well, you see what she's doing there? How she's licking your face like that? Well, she thinks you're her mother. And she wants to nurse from your breast. Oh! Stop licking my face, you stupid beast! Get the tranquilizer gun out, Back Jack! Right! Ding dong goes the dingo! Boom! Boom! Could you please put Andrew down and get a real rifle? Okay. While we're sedating Matilda, here's a commercial. And we're clear. So, are you guys enjoying the show so far? I sure am. Oh, shh. Someone's coming! Everyone, hide! Good evening, Steve. Steve, did I hear voices? Why, hello, Dr. Taylor. Voices? Why, I not know whom you speak of. Shh, you're gonna get me in trouble. I'm not talking to anybody, Dr. Taylor. Steve, what did we say about your imaginary TV show? Well, I said that it was an overactive imagination, but we said that it was the result of my multiple personalities. That's right. And remember, if I catch you again, that means no institute picnic for you this weekend. Now it's time to take your medicine, Steve. It's time to sign off. Yes, sir. You're right, Dr. Taylor. This isn't a studio. It's just a white padded room. Good night, Dr. Taylor. Oh, and Dr. Taylor, I just want to let you know, I really appreciate you not giving up on me. Can you hold my pills? And we're back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NYPD Steve. I'm Steve. Let's give our next guest a big old Viking horn salute. Here she is, Shirley the opera singer. Okay, thanks. Okay, shut your face. Okay. Now let's give a big wave to our ventriloquist number, Pete and his wiggly companion, Mr. Fingers. Hi, Pete. Hey, Mr. Fingers. Do some impressions. Sure. This is Fonzie. This is a stupid hitchhiker. As you guys are eagerly anticipating the release of my new movie, we have a clip just for you Steve heads out there. So if we can take a look at the monitors, it's called The Hills Whisper Steve. 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 You're awesome. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys another joke, only this time I'm going to tell it to you via mental telepathy. Hello, Dr. Taylor. Steve, I caught you again. Now you give me one good reason why I should let you go to the picnic. One reason? How about the top 3 reasons why I should be able to go to the picnic? Reason number 3. Well, I got a reason. And my mic just failed. What was that reason, Outback Jack? I got a reason. His name's Freddy, and he's a poisonous kangaroo tarantula. And his venom, once injected in the body, numbs you immediately. What did you do that for, Penny? Reason number 2. I got a reason. Let me see. It's not this one, it's not this one, it's not this one, it's not... And the number one reason the show isn't over till the fat lady things. Woo! Oh, nuts. Steve, I think it's time you put this on. Maybe you're right, Dr. Taylor. Maybe I don't make millions of people laugh each night and make them happy. But just because I want to, that makes me crazy? I mean, wouldn't this world be just a bit better of a place if everyone did have their own show and everyone was famous and everyone tried to make everyone else just a little bit happier? You know, Steve, I never thought of it like that. Well, hey, let me try. Okay, hello, and welcome to the Dr. Taylor Show. I'm Dr. Excuse me, but Dr. Taylor, can I ask you a little question? Who are you talking to? The audience is over here. Can you believe this guy? No offense, Dr. Taylor, but you're crazy. Dr. Taylor, seriously, before this show is over for the final time, I just want to tell all the Steve heads out there a little piece of advice. When the world's getting you down and you think that you can't carry on, just try to be a little crazy. After all, there's a little Steve in all of us. And so with that, the Steve Show is signing off.
Before we move to the team awards, we have just a couple of announcements here. If you're interested in purchasing a videotape of tonight's award ceremony, there is an order form in your packet. Speaking of which, the packets are lined up against the wall here. You can pick those up on your way out. We also have several items in our Lost and Found here to my left, including a watch, a bracelet, a ring, and assorted clothing items. We'd like to give a special thanks tonight to our technical crew, Mr. Joe Petrie, who's here from Naperville Central High School. Assisted by Sarah Rendak and Christy Scales. We have large and impressive trophies for the top 3 teams tonight, but I'd like to announce the top 5. We have a tie for the 5th place teams, Glenbrook North, and Warren Township. Both those teams scored 16 points. In 4th place with 17 points, Glenbrook South. And would the coaches and team members of our 3rd place school, which scored 20 points, please come to the stage. Oak Lawn. In 2nd place, scoring 35 points, the team from Downers Grove South. And our 1999 state championship team scoring 38 points, Wheaton Warrenville South. thank all of you for joining us in Gurnee, Illinois, and have a